I said to you earlier that my message last week about my being born to suffer. And I said for my brother, I don't want anybody to think I was talking about my blood brother who, that I was talking about that was on drugs. I'm talking about brother in general, the Hamite brother. And then I gave up everything to try to find a way to help him. I couldn't stay in the position of power I had and help him. And Keisha Lance Bottoms in Atlanta or the mayor of Houston can't stay there to help his people. And Eric Adams coming to New York City won't be able to help his people by being mayor. He'll only be able to help the Jews and do exactly what they say. Sometimes you have to step away. And the reason why Jesus didn't attend the churches or the temples, and the reason why he railed against all of them, because he couldn't be a part of that group and help his people. The Bible said John the Baptizer, his father was a priest, Zacharias. But in order to be able to be the front runner, greatest prophet ever, he had to leave his own family house, had to leave his father's house, had to leave the temple and go live out in the woods, out in the desert, where his meat was locusts and wild honey. He had a leather girdle about his back. He could not stay in that group to help the people that needed the help, because those are the political groups, the mayors of our world, the politicians, the athletes, the black stars. They're the problem. They're the garbage containers. They're the garbage trucks. LeBron James is a great big old garbage truck, and all the rest of them. And until you step away from the garbage of Jay-Z and Beyonce, until we step away from the garbage and come back to the Word of God, we're still going to suffer. And God's called me here to set it straight, and I ain't leaving. Ain't nobody going to take me down. I'm willing to lay my life down. My brother, you want to tangle with me, you better know what you're doing. You better know what you're doing. It's going to be life for life. It ain't going to be no tit for tat. No, you tangle with me, I'm going to take your head off. I'm here to help my brother. You try to stop me, well, know what you're doing. I can tell you this, though, and I'm through with y'all, I am, that I didn't know what real courage was, though I'd grown up facing snakes and panthers and a bunch of other things in my childhood. But I didn't know what real courage was. And I walk at night and there's no lights out there in North Carolina, those fields. I didn't know what real courage and strength and wisdom was until I made the decision. I'm going to lay down my life to help the Hamite brother. You say, where's this going? Jesus laid down his life to help all of us. And it wasn't easy to do. He said, Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me, after that miraculous birthday on that Christmas morning. If it be possible, let this cup pass from me, if it be possible. But if not so, I'm ready to drink. I'm ready to drink. I'm ready to drink. And then finally on the cross, talking about courage. Courage. Lord, why hast thou forsaken me? He knew he was going to death. I was praying the other day that some of my enemies, I pray they don't die. I got a lot of enemies. I pray, let them live, Lord. Don't kill them. Let them live. I want them to live because I want them to see how you blessing me. They die, they might not be able to check it out. I want them to go on Facebook and see how good I look. Say, good God Almighty. Woo! Look at him. We thought we had him. Look at him. Well, ain't that nothing? I want them to see me. Yeah. I want them to hear about me. Now, I don't want them dead. No, I'm praying they live. Not death, I don't know. I've never been there, so I don't know. But in death, there may be something worse. They may have to face all the people that are their enemies. There be a whole jungle mess down there in death. I don't know about that, but there's so much let my enemies live. Yes. And let them see how God's blessing me. That's right. See how the Lord is blessing ATLAH. See how the Lord is blessing us. Keep them alive. Keep them alive. Don't let them die. Well, my friends, I didn't know what courage was until I decided I got to do something to help my Hamite brother. I got to do something. And it took courage to walk away from that great income, great living quarters, high-rise buildings, swimming pools, balconies, company cars. It took courage to do that. But my desire was so powerful. It greatly outweighed the little fear I had for leaving all that. I didn't know what real courage was. People say, Pastor Man, you're a courageous man. Well, maybe in some regards, but I wasn't always this way. And the more I desire to help my brother, the more I get infused with courage that I just ain't gonna back up. I ain't gonna back up and leave him. I'm not gonna be afraid and leave him. If you get to him, you have to come through me. And for anybody to take Harlem, you have to take me down. You got to come through me. You got to come through me. I didn't know what wisdom was, what true strength was, until I decided, like Jesus, to come and help my people. Now, I'm not Jesus. I don't want you to misunderstand me. But that's what he did. He came willing to die, willing to separate himself from all the other religious people. Every last one of them wouldn't even sleep in their houses to help his people. I'm willing. And I made that statement. I will give my life against what's happening. All this black garbage, all this black history, all this Kwanzaa, all this black garbage here in the 21st century poverty with men eating out of the garbage can. Obama stealing your blackness. The one thing that you had, it was yours. He stole it and made it, weakened it down with white, and he done weakened what you had, he took from you. I'm not gonna quit. And I'm going to use my power against this ignorance, this racism, this Black Lives Matter, this black history. We black and you ain't got a damn thing. You ain't got a pot nor a window. Struggling. Your man ain't got no strength. You ain't got none. And your children going to be worse. There's no future for them in that blackness. Only righteousness, only in the word of God. Only righteousness is the future of our children. Giving them a legacy of civil rights, Black Lives Matter, defund the police. That's where we're going to leave our children. When we got the word of God, we got the house of God. So I want to be able to say that on this Christmas morning. And that's how Jesus talked. A lot of people think Jesus somehow this nice guy, nicey to everybody. No. That you may get somebody to preach that, but it's a lie. They're nowhere near with Jesus. Jesus sends people to hell. No. And I'm not a nicey guy either. Don't expect me to be. No, I'm the Lord's servant. I'm not perfect, but I'm definitely not a nicey guy. I'm righteous. And we need to understand that's what other men need to grow up to be in terms of who we are. Just think what my life would be like if I decided to embrace Black Lives Matter, or embrace Obama, or embrace blackness and defend people like Andrew Brown or Michael Brown or Trayvon Martin. Or if I embraced LGBTQ and said, man, and myself perform marriages. Imagine the wealth that I would have. Imagine how often you see me on the news and all the people of the community would be worshiping and saying what a great preacher and great pastor I am. You do know that would happen, right? I want you to consider that I will not and never under any circumstance nor the threat of death ever go anywhere near thinking about doing anything as satanic as that. But what I do want to ask you to do is to consider my righteousness. I'm the Lord's servant, and you might want to help me. You might want to say, well, listen, especially if you're at retirement age and your life is settled and your income's, you're pretty much settled for the rest of your days, but you have excess, or you have what you can give, or you can make this ministry. You can further this word to reach the 50,000 righteous men through your giving. Maybe you have stocks, or you have bonds, or you have properties, houses, or land, or jewelry that you could just give to the ministry. Cars, automobiles, paintings. I'm just going to give them to that ministry. If Jesus is coming back to Harlem, to 123rd Street, then I want to give my possessions to prepare a place for him. Jesus said he's going to prepare a place for us, but I'm going to give my possessions, my paintings, my gold, my jewelry, my stocks, my land, my property, my houses, to prepare a place for him when he comes back, that the land would truly be holy ground for James David Manning as his servant. Thank you for doing that. You'll know how to give. The Lord will show you how, but start doing it immediately. Time is of the essence.